Hello folks, how's it going? Welcome to Quarter Life Chit Chat, the podcast where I say crazy shit that'll probably get me canceled from society, or I say things that your therapist is too scared to tell you. You know, last night I was thinking what to make an episode about, and I just didn't have an inspiration come to my mind. It was 3 a.m. and I was just staring at my ceiling until flick, a light bulb went off in my head. I realized what I needed to do, and it is to go back to my roots. And no, if you're wondering I'm going to be talking about India, no. I'm talking about going back to the roots of this beloved podcast. You know, in the early episodes of the show, a lot of the episodes were based on dating. And it's been a hot minute since, I've touched that topic on this podcast since then. So I think it's only time we delve into the world of dating. But today, I'm doing a little bit of a twist. Today, I'm going to be talking about the infamous thing that plagues all men worldwide. A thing that plagues men more than when they look at themselves in the mirror and wonder, am I going bald? Because today, I'm going to be talking about why you, the listener, are unable to get a woman to even look into your direction, or why you're failing so miserably in getting a girlfriend. So, whether you think you're a 6 with delusions of grandeur, or you think you're an 8 with no social skills, this episode's for you. It's me, your boy Nav, your beloved host, and without further ado, let's get this episode on the road, shall we? Now, I know what you must be thinking. Damn, Nav, why should we listen to you? You've never had a girlfriend, and you were scared of women, and you have commitment issues. Like, should we be listening to you telling us what we need to do or change to get a girlfriend or have more girls like us? That's a fair point, and listen up, bucko. First things first, even though I've never had a girlfriend, that does give me one thing. And that is 100% success rate of not having even a single failed relationship. If I've never dated, guess what? Nobody's broken up with me. Which means that I don't have a single failed relationships. Unlike you that's listening to this episode. So you tell me, who would you want to listen to? Someone else who's had multiple failed relationships? Or the guy who has 100% success rate of having not a single failed relationship? Secondly, it's like the age-old saying that, our beloved Lord and Savior Jesus Christ once said, you miss not a single shot that you never take. So guess what? If you never swing at a pitch, you're never going to get struck out. And that's my motto towards dating. Never take a shot so you never miss. You heard it here first. So, now that I have shown you that I'm an amazing and a credible source for all the information I'm about to throw at your way, let's get this episode, okay? Let's break all your issues down into a bunch of parts. So, let's go into part 1, why you're not pulling. Now, if you have been single since the age of time or since the dinosaurs were alive, and you think to yourself, damn, nobody likes me or nobody wants to date me, what is wrong with them? Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're the problem, okay? The reason others don't like you or want to date you is because of who you are. Now, there could be many reasons why others don't want to date you, but the most common ones are that A, you dress like life beat you up and left you there. You have 3 hoodies in rotation, and they all smell like hot Cheetos, regret, and semen. You need to fix that shit. First thing you need to do, go out, get more clothes. 2, never have hoodies in rotation, you fucking lonely fuck. If you're somebody who constantly wears hoodies everywhere, be prepared to die alone, okay? There's better clothing items out there. And if you're a person that only wears hoodies, trust me, all it screams is not that I like to be comfortable. It screams that I haven't matured past the age of 17, okay? So start there first. The second reason why you're not pulling is because you might not be smelling all the greatest. And now, I'm not going to preach to you that you should, focus on hygiene and whatnots. No. You should be focusing on hygiene. And you should definitely be doing your laundry every fucking week. And trust me, I have met too many people that tell me they do laundry once a month and that they wear used t-shirts multiple times. Well, let's just say I stopped talking to them because ew. But the first thing you should do is you must be smelling good all the fucking time. So how do we go about that? Is it shower? Is it using a soap? Is it using expensive shampoos? No. Well, also yes. You should be doing all those things. But most importantly, invest in a fucking cologne or a perfume. okay? We live in 2025, and the fact that you don't own a cologne or a perfume is a red flag. Secondly, the fact that you don't use cologne or perfume is a bigger red flag. So go out there, go to Sephora, go to Amazon, go to, I don't even know, any website online, and buy yourself some cologne or a perfume, okay? Feel free to splurge a little. And if you can't afford perfume or cologne, then you should pray that the person who you end up dating has lost the ability to smell. The next thing why you might not be pulling is because you are too attentive. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Damn, Nav, how does me paying attention to my crush a bad thing? Like, how is it me who's always free and there for her a bad thing? First of all, if you're the type of person that has liked your crush's Instagram story or a post 4 minutes after they posted and you think it's attentive, trust me, it's not attentive. It's not giving attentive, but rather it's giving unemployed. So, how about we take a step back and start being there for yourselves? Start doing the things that you've been regretting or not wanting to do. Stop being there as the first person that likes your crush's post. Stop looking unemployed. Now that we have, laid out the foundation and addressed the trash fire of why it is that you can't pull, let's get into the part 2, the come up. Now, this part is all about how to level up. It's all about how to look more desirable as a dating partner. The first thing you need to do is you need to hit the gym. And I know how corny I sound and how much of a gym bro I sound, but trust me. Never in the history of the world have people not liked attractive people or fit people or people that are toned. So, go hit the gym. And no, you're not trying to hit the gym to get massive abs or massive pecs or look like a Greek bot. No. You just need to look like a guy that can hold a pack of water bottles that you buy at Costco. Okay? So just aim for that figure. Secondly, you need to dress better. Like I said earlier, throw out your fucking hoodies that you have in rotation. Okay? Buy proper clothes that fit you, that you look good in. I just want to throw this out there. I'm a little bit of a fat kid. So what I advise is if you're a bit heavy, wear dark clothes. Dark clothes make you look skinny. And if you ever go out shopping and you don't know what to buy, just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say this in your mind. I don't want to look like I lost a bet. I want to look like a functioning person of the society. And then open your eyes and you'll immediately know exactly what to buy. There you go. Now, this is the most important thing that I'm going to tell you that you need to know for your glow up. And that is to have hobbies. Okay? The fact that you're probably listening to this episode and you're intrigued in what I'm saying, the chances are you have a personality and the hobbies of a cracker. So we need to fix that shit right now. Have some hobbies, whether it's outdoors hobbies or indoors. Here's a tip. Girls like guys that are artistic, so choose something artistic. I choose to write poetry and make podcasts, which has become a bit of a red flag. But if I was you, I wouldn't make a podcast. Trust me, it's a red flag to women. And if you're a girl, guys like girls that like outdoor exercises, mostly climbing. So if you're wanting to have more guys feel attracted to you, just tell them that you go climbing and then tell them you climb Mount Everest. Guess what? Nobody's going to fucking fact check you. And if you tell anybody you climb Mount Everest and you say it with the right confidence, you have officially entered big dick energy. And every guy likes a woman that has big dick energy. And P.S., this is just an important notice to all the listeners that are men and tall and breathing. Stop making your personality be that I am 6 feet tall. Nobody cares anymore. So chill the fuck down. Get a real personality. So, now that I have laid out the things that you need to do for your glow up, let's go into part 3. Part 3 is how to talk to people without scaring them. And I cannot believe that I am discussing this, but trust me, from my experience at the age of 26, I've met a lot of people that thought they're talking to me and they're being interesting, but they were just radiating serial killer vibes. And that's something we don't want to do. If you're trying to date someone, you don't want to look like a serial killer. Just look at Ted Bundy. You think he would have been as big of a serial killer if he radiated serial killer vibes? The answer is no. But moving past that awfully dark joke, you need to listen more and speak less. We're all Gen Z, and what's the most Gen Z shit that we all do? We trauma dump. And how do we trauma dump? It's by speaking a lot. And guess what? Nobody wants to know your fucking traumas. So shut your little mouth and you listen. You listen to other people trauma dump on you. Why you do that? A, if somebody's trauma dumping on you and you listen, guess what? You're basically helping them. Because the only reason they're trauma dumping is they have no one to talk to. So you immediately help them. Secondly, the person who is trauma dumping on you will believe that you care about them. And that's what you want when you're dating. Have people believe that you care about them, when in reality, you don't care. Now, the next thing you need to do is ask questions. And what I mean by that is don't ask them what their kinks are. That's too soon. Trust me. I have done that before. Never should you open up with, so what are your kinks? Just don't do it. Trust me, bro. The questions you need to be asking is, what do you like to do for a living? What are your hobbies? Where are you from? Things like that. Things that make the people talk about themselves and discuss things about themselves. And never, ever, if you're ever texting anybody, a guy or a girl or whoever, never ever send the text WYD. Don't be a dipshit. Never use abbreviations. Just write the full thing. Secondly, if you're listening to this, you're too old to be using abbreviation. Fuck off. No abbreviation should ever be used in texting besides LOL, LMAO. It's just that simple. Now moving on, the next thing you need to do that is very important when it comes to communicating with people is making eye contact. But more importantly, what you need to do is fucking blink. Okay, I literally had a person in my life that would make eye contact when they would talk to me, but they would legitimately not blink. Fucking blink, you weirdos. Okay, a lot of people get this confused where they focus or they worry if they're making eye contact or not, and all they end up doing is just staring into your soul like a fucking demon. Stop. Just look into their eyes, look at their face while they're talking, and then just focus on what they're saying. The rest will come naturally. And if you think you're not blinking, just fucking blink. Okay? Don't look like a paralysis demon. Just blink. Now that we've wrapped up part 3 and how to talk to people, we're heading into the last part of the episode, which is part 4, Rizzonomics. Now, what do I mean by Rizzonomics? Trust me, I don't know either, but it sounded cool, so I'm using it. But this part feels like the right thing to talk about self-worth. Desperation smells. I met a girl once who literally told me this. She said, and I quote, "Every girl has a meter in their mind that goes off the moment they smell desperation, and trust me, a lot of the guys stink of desperation." And then I went to a couple more girls, and they confirmed the same thing. Where guys, on the other hand, I talked to a couple guys, and I was like, "Hey man, is there a meter in your head that goes off when a girl's being desperate?" To which every guy said, "Bro, I wish she was being desperate." So based on that quick little field research, if you're a guy who likes girls, don't smell like desperation. And if you're a girl who likes guys and you want a guy to date you, look desperate. It works. But more importantly, never chase something too hard. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but never chase ideally at all. If you want somebody to be interested in you, you shouldn't need to chase after it or chase after them. It should be mutual. The desire should be mutual. Take your shot, throw it out there. If they don't reciprocate, try to walk away. And most importantly, never put somebody else above you. That actually sounds terrible. But what I mean by that is never put somebody else's self-worth above yours. AKA, don't do dumb shit to impress others, or don't degrade yourself or lose your humility and your self-respect to make someone else feel better. It's hella fucking cringe. Secondly, confidence. If you can't make it, you fake it. But don't be a douchebag that, has confidence through ego. It's cringe. And it radiates small PP energy. Don't have small PP energy, okay? I firmly believe, and I think I preach it myself, that I am the main character in my life. And you should also feel like that, because you are the main character in your life. The only difference is, you need to understand that even if you're the main character in your life, you're not the main character in everybody's life. So what does that mean? It means don't think you're more important than the other party, but rather just try to be the most important person in your life. Be there for yourself, do the things that you need to do, stand on business, the thing you need to stand on business on, and remember, you're not everybody's choice, okay? Don't take rejections so seriously. You're the main character in your life. What do you think Beyonce does when every single time somebody, unfollows her or dislikes her album? She adds another Grammy to her pile. So, what do you do when somebody rejects you or you like someone and they don't like you back? You hit on their mom. No, don't do that. But you focus on yourself and you move on and you say, okay, well, why did it go sideways? Were they the type of person I wanted? What can I do better in the future? Blah, blah, blah. You get the gist. And the last thing, and this is the most important, and I'm not using satire about this at all. You fix yourself. You are what you attract. If you're somebody who's crazy and erratic like me, trust me, you will attract people that are crazy and erratic. For me, I love it, but it's also a massive red flag. For you, if you're, just being a slob, or you're being like depressy and you're just being, there's no thing to live for, or there's no love in my life, you're going to be attracting people who are also going to radiate the vibe, who are a little depressy and all about, I have so much love to give for and I have no love in my life. We don't need that. Work on yourself, take care of the things you need to take care of, fix the things you need to fix, and try to emulate the kind of person you would want to date. And that brings me to the end of part 4. And if there's anything I said throughout this episode that spoke to you, that resonated with you, that you agree with, great, I love that. And if it ever, you accept my advice and it goes sideways, just remember, you're listening to a guy who's never fucking dated. So whatever consequences that come from you listening to me is on you. But jokes aside, I hope I was able to help somebody, and I hope this episode was a bit fun to listen to. But that's it for today's crash course in becoming, a more suitable partner. So go forth, make the changes you need to, and buy a cologne or a perfume. Go talk to someone without being weird. Make sure to blink when you make eye contact, and remember to never quote Andrew Tate ever. If you laughed, cried, had existential crisis, or felt anything while listening to this episode, do me a favor, tell your friends about it and your grandparents about it. Share this episode, share this podcast, spread the word. I'll be back next week with another fun episode. Until then, hasta la vista, folks. Bye-bye!